You're listening to an Airwave Media podcast.
Only 2 people in history, one living, one dead, have been nominated for over 50 Academy Awards. Can you name them both? That question and more on today's episode of Triviality Mini.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality Mini, a 10-question quiz to make you the cream of the crop at Trivia Night. My name is Neal. I'll be in the host seat for today's game. As always, this quiz and all the quizzes we bring you are brought to you by our amazing patrons who make all of our bonus content possible. If you'd like to help support our show so we can continue to release the same high quality and dependable content every week, just like this, you can go to patreon.com/trivialitypodcast. For as little as $1 a month, you'll get all of our main feed episodes and bonuses ad-free, which is fun. And for as little as $5 a month, or a cup at Matt's Conglomerate, you can get over 60 hours of bonus content, as well as weekly bonuses written by all of us. Once again, if you'd like to help, you can go to patreon.com/trivialitypodcast. And without further ado, here are this week's questions. Question number 1. Australia uses .com.au, and Mexico is .com.mx. But what member of the European Union uses the internet domain extension .de? Again, what country is .de? Number 2. What American city saw a jump in tourism by 46% after the release of the Clint Eastwood-directed Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil? Do you remember what city appears in the film and the book it's based on? Number 3. If you fired up your original PlayStation in 1997 and enjoyed playing a game about a cartoon dog learning how to rap and dance to win over his girlfriend, what game would you be playing? Again, what 1997 PlayStation game involves hip-hop and a charming pup? Number 4. What British Iranian journalist and CNN contributor was once dubbed the Edward R. Murrow of cable and is a personal hero of fictional character Rory Gilmore? Again, who is this British Iranian journalist? Number 5. Jimmy Donaldson is the world's most famous and most followed YouTuber known for his crazy challenges, charitable efforts, and growing candy empire that goes by what name inspired by his original Xbox gamer tag? Again, by what name is Jimmy Donaldson more well known by? Number 6. What former actor and professional wrestler, who never had time to bleed, became a politician by squashing concerns about his qualifications by saying, "All the rule book says is be over 25 and live in the state for 1 year"? What former wrestler was this? Number 7. What popular clothing company, owned by Abercrombie & Fitch, gives off West Coast vibes thanks to its name and seagull logo, but was actually founded in Ohio in the year 2000? What brand is this? Number 8. Second only to the Burj Khalifa in Dubai when it comes to the world's tallest buildings, Merdeka 118 stands at 2,227 feet in what city that also houses number 21 on the list, the Petronas Towers? Again, in what city would you find Merdeka 118? Number 9. What famous Broadway character would you find on a modern crime procedural being interrogated by SVU's Olivia Benson for stealing a loaf of bread? Again, what famous Broadway character is known for stealing a loaf of bread? And your final question, number 10. Beloved by sadistic dentists played by Steve Martin and the Crown Prince of Gotham, what is the chemical name for laughing gas? Again, if you inhaled laughing gas, what would be in your system? Take some time to think about those questions, and we'll be back with the answers after this short break. With New Year's fast approaching, it's time to get those resolutions in order. My resolution? Well, it starts with this and ends with me speaking a new language. It's Babbel. Speak like a whole new you with Babbel, the language learning app that gets you talking. With quick 10-minute lessons handcrafted by over 200 language experts, Babbel gets you talking a new language in 3 weeks. When I was in college, I tried learning Italian. It didn't go well. Part of the reason was I was making short films for class, but the other reason is I was learning from a book. I was one of 30 students not getting the right amount of attention that I needed to learn a language like Italian, which can be difficult for people who've never spoken another language. But thankfully, for Babbel, it's worked for millions of language learners of all ages. Learn everything you need from vocabulary to culture while holding your own in conversation with anybody. With Babbel, it just takes 10 minutes a day. You don't need a full semester like I did in college. Here's a special holiday deal for all of our listeners. Right now, get up to 60% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/social hour. Get up to 60% off at babbel.com/social hour, spelled BABBEL.com/social hour. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
And we're back, and here are your questions one more time and the answers. Number 1, Australia uses .com.au, Mexico is .com.mx. I was looking for the country that uses .de. That country would be Germany. The DE stands for Deutschland. Number 2, what American city saw a jump in tourism by 46% after Clint Eastwood's Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, also based on a book? That would be Savannah, Georgia. Number 3, if you were playing PlayStation in 1997 and you had a game involving a dog that rapped and danced, what game would you be playing? That would be Parappa the Rapper. Parappa the Rapper. Many great memories playing that one. Number 4, what British Iranian journalist and CNN contributor, once dubbed the Edward R. Murrow of cable, is a personal hero of fictional character Rory Gilmore? If you're a fan of Gilmore Girls, you know that Rory is obsessed with Christiane Amanpour. That is the answer, Christiane Amanpour. Number 5, Jimmy Donaldson, the world's most famous and most followed YouTuber, doesn't go by his name on YouTube. He goes by a different name. That name, Mr. Beast. Number 6, what former actor and professional wrestler became a governor and said, all you have to do is be over 25 and live in the state for 1 year? That wrestler and actor is Jesse the Body Ventura, governor of Minnesota from 1999 to 2003. Number 7, what popular clothing company owned by Abercrombie & Fitch gives off West Coast vibes thanks to its name and seagull logo, but was founded in Ohio in 2000? Contrary to popular belief, I do know this answer. It is Hollister. Hollister. Number 8, second only to the Burj Khalifa in Dubai when it comes to the world's tallest buildings, Merdeka 118 stands at 2,227 feet in what country? That would be in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, right around the Petronas Towers, which is number 21 on the list of tallest buildings. Number 9, what famous Broadway character is known for stealing a loaf of bread? That would be prisoner 24601 from Les Miserables, Jean Valjean, played by Hugh Jackman in the film adaptation. And number 10, beloved by sadistic dentists, played by Steve Martin, and the Crown Prince of Gotham, what is the chemical name for laughing gas? That would be nitrous oxide. Hopefully you got all those questions right. And if you were curious about today's question that opened the episode, I was asking you, only 2 people in history, one living, one dead, have been nominated for over 50 Academy Awards. Can you name them both? The first is Walt Disney, and the second, still alive, John Williams, perhaps the greatest film composer of all time. Thank you so much for playing along with today's quiz. I hope you enjoyed it. We encourage you to rate and review the podcast in all your favorite podcast apps. Make sure to follow us on social media at TrivialityPod. And like we said before, the Patreon support is the lifeblood of our show. If you'd like to support the show so we can continue to do fun projects just like this, please become a patron by going to patreon.com/trivialitypodcast on our road to getting 1,000 patrons to do this full time. That'll do it for this week's episode of Triviality Mini. Tune in next week for a brand new set of 10 questions in 10 minutes.